Everything you've learned so far comes together with the final rule. Launch and iterate, which is often referred to as continuous learning. This is a break and burn and fail fast idea that you want to encourage in your company culture. It gives your employees the freedom to innovate and enables them to apply 10x thinking. So what does it mean to launch and iterate? Launch and iterate is both a mindset and a practice where instead of starting off with a perfect solution, you figure it out through experimentation. Launch and iterate says try, learn from the output, and then try again. You can apply the launch and iterate rule to your own work by asking yourself, does my project or initiative support my why? Am I applying 10x thinking? How might I use technology to reframe the problem or find a transformative solution instead of minor improvements? When you have the answers, start experimenting and building. Seek feedback quickly. And you might fail the first time, but if you do, fail fast instead of wasting your time perfecting your idea. Why? Because in failure, you learn quickly. This is the process of innovation. Now, there's one caveat to this rule. For everyone to launch and iterate freely, it's important to create a culture of psychological safety. Organizational behavioral scientist Amy Edmondson of Harvard first introduced the concept of team psychological safety. She defined it as a shared belief held by members of a team that the team is safe for interpersonal risk-taking. There's a strong correlation between innovative teams and high psychological safety rates. Teammates feel safe to ask questions, take risks, challenge each other, and build on each other's ideas. They feel confident that no one on the team will embarrass or punish anyone else for admitting a mistake, asking a question, or offering a new idea. When people feel psychologically safe and begin applying the launch and iterate rule into their day-to-day work, the result is the prototyping effect. The more ideas you try, the more you learn, and the more you eventually succeed. Continuous learning and the ability to adapt based on that learning is critical as you adopt cloud technology for your organization. One high-profile example of this is Google Glass. This image demonstrates the evolution of Google Glass. The brainstorming discussion probably began with someone asking, if we can get information to people at their fingertips with a smartphone, how might we enable them to retrieve or receive information hands-free? From this, the prototype of the digital glasses emerged. It went through 6 iterations before reaching its most recent version. Very early, it became apparent that there were barriers to adoption for the mass market, cost being one of them. Another was social expectation. People felt awkward walking around with them, but Google employees maintained their innovation mindset and their ongoing curiosity, which led to an interesting discovery. Although the mass market wasn't ready for Google Glass, which was an apparent failure at the time, there was significant enterprise demand for it. Imagine you were a surgeon or a handler in a warehouse or a repair mechanic for large industrial equipment. Hands-free access to information that helps you do your job better is highly valuable. And in those cases, the cost is less of an obstacle. So in July 2017, Google launched the new enterprise edition of Google Glass. The initial plan to create and mass market digital glasses did not succeed, but teams learned from each iteration, evolving and adapting at each stage and responding to customer user feedback, which led to new successes. And remember, ideas don't have to be limited to hardware or service products. This way of thinking can also be used for any employee-customer or employee-and-employee interaction. Now, you might be thinking, hey, Saman, that's all great, but I can't always apply these in my organization. And I agree. Although these principles help to nurture a culture of innovation, they may not always be applicable to every situation and every case. Still, I want to challenge you to try and apply them even at a small scale. I'll demonstrate this with an example from the banking industry next.